Well, hello, true gardeners. Welcome back. So today we are going to tour a tiny space, but a beautiful backyard jungle. And I'm excited to share this one with you. We are in my hometown, Vero Beach, Florida, Zone 10A in the community called Bent Pine. And it is a lovely community with lovely, lovely homes. However, very tiny yards. We have got a slim side yard section that we're going to tackle. And today I want to address the misconception that too many palms in a backyard setting in a small area is just not going to work for these type of homes, because it does. It creates a tropical screening that makes you feel like you're in a resort, makes you feel like you can really have privacy from any nosy neighbors, or maybe not so nosy neighbors. You just don't want your house here and then knowing that right next to your house on either side is your neighbors waving at you. So I want to share with you today the palms that we chose for that, how that's not going to overgrow or overtake the area, how in time this landscaping is going to mature into that wall, into that privacy. In as little as 7.5 foot deep by 30 foot long, we were able to create, I think, a beautiful tropical layered garden. This is what I like to call tropical informal. And that is commonly how I like to decorate a small space because of how it fits in so well with that type of environment. But before we jump in, let me ask you guys to like and subscribe. Bryce and I post these videos every single weekend, and a big thumbs up to us is you guys subscribing, because it lets us know that these videos are making a difference, that you enjoy seeing us every single Saturday. So thank you guys for that, and thank you guys for that thumbs up. All right, let's jump right in. So tropical informal really means that your plant material lays on top of each other, that you have enough vertical legs of each plant underneath of it that allows you to kind of pile in down below. So your plants are nice and cozy together. They're nice and layered together, but there is a trick to that. You want to make sure that you use the right material. If you jam pack too many plants so that are in the same level or the same heights, now you've got tropical jungle mess. You want to have a rhythm that's not only going to look good now, but it's going to grow into that specimen garden that you really wanted to see 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. And that's exactly what this garden's going to do in as little as 7.5 foot deep. Now this right here is an example of exactly what I'm talking about. So you guys know I always start with my structure trees, right? So I've got my foxtail palms. They've got plenty of legs to cover right here, right? So that's kind of a no-brainer. You bring these guys in where they have a little bit of trunk. They do not have to be this size. This is just what we were doing the installation, so we were able to bring them in. But as long as your trees have some legs below them, a little bit of canopy for some protection, then that's going to be ideal for your space. It gives you room for that next tier. So we have this larger elephant ear. This alocasia is one of my favorites to use. Not only can they handle the sun better than the dwarf alocasias, but they really give us that big leaf on leaf type of look. I mean, just look at the size of this leaf. And this is a 10-gallon plant. This is not a huge plant. This guy right here will grow all the way into that 10 and max out at that 12-foot space. When it hits that max capacity, you're going to have a beautiful bit of stemming at the bottom. So you kind of see how it's already doing that. It's just going to continue doing that and really creating a canopy, filling in this whole hole right here between these trees with these giant leaves, but allowing us one very important thing. Unlike the dwarf alocasias that are full to the bottom, these are going to create that stem, which is going to allow us to put things like burl marks underneath, variegated ginger underneath, aglaonemas underneath. So you can see, because we're able to put those in here, it allows us to really layer on top of those stems to kind of really camouflage them, and it gives us the room. Now, you can see how close this is to your accent feature. Now, in all reality, you would normally want to put your accent features further apart, but because I know this is going to grow and have stemmage, it gives me all the room to put something else right next to it and know that what I'm wanting them to do is really kind of fold in and create a base for those. So it's like it's under canopy foliage. And I think that gets missed a lot in the landscaping. I think that everybody thinks you've got to space these out so far, but in reality, what you do want is you want a bottom grouping to this. You want to make this tree, it's like you want to accessorize it. This is the jewelry down here. So what's great about ginger is they have a stemmage as well. So ginger are going to get up more more upright and tall. So when that happens, I've got aglaonemas just underneath here and burrow marks underneath here that do not get stems, that stay chunky and full. So you always have that ground cover. So this is the jungle floor down here. This is the second bit of the floor. And then this, of course, is that showstopper coming out of the middle. So you can see how with just a small little grouping of plants, you can create a wall in as little as maybe 5 foot of space, maybe less than that, maybe 4 foot of space right here, because we've got 18 inches of rock behind me, and then we've got the hedge behind us here. Now this hedge was a transplant from the front. We were fortunate enough to kind of bring it back here. They're gonna let this hedge get about 5 foot tall. So that's gonna be our green screen, our green wall. And what that's gonna allow us to do is let all of these colors pop, because that's gonna darken this area. That's why we have the variegated ginger for that bit of brightness. That's why we have the silver bay aglaonemas for another touch of brightness. The florica right here to really give us that pop of contrasting color. Because in time, when this whole landscape grows together, we're gonna have a green wall, green screen with all of these layers and all of these tropics down below. Now you notice I did kind of a rinse and repeat right here. Right down here, we have the florica, which is just a different type of antilou. And we know what they get. We know they get some stemage at the bottom. So we know the top is gonna be stunning at 5 foot tall here and be beautiful with color. But then we're gonna get a little bit of bare naked legs. And that's not my vibe. So we have a little clustering of Song of India that my clients are gonna keep nice and tidy and low right here. So they're gonna chunk out real here. And look at the contrast with this color. It's just, to me, it is just such a stunning contrast. And there are 2 plants here, you guys. You don't need many of them. We've got 2 Song of India right here, and we've got 3 florica back here. And I think that's all it took to really give you this vibe. And to add to the brightness on both sides, we have the silver bay aglaonemas. So when you have a dark spot like this, you're gonna have a green wall with a green tree. Bring in some of those bright light silver whites, and then some of the deep tones of the pinks and burgundies, and you're gonna get so rewarded by creating that tropical paradise in a teeny tiny space. And one really cool tree, one tree that I feel like is kind of in my space right now, excuse me, sir, is the Cabata palm. You guys, I have one at my house. I absolutely love it. This tree, if you have a small space, it is a natural clumping palm, and it really stays nice and vertical and upright. Now, as this tree gets some size to it, you can keep these lower trunks super clean. Like a lot of people do auricas, but they're much slower growing and much easier to keep, and they're also much more narrow. So if you have a narrow spot, but you still need some oomph, you can get a Cabata palm, and they have a beautiful white caning on those trunks when they get some size. So as this tree matures, it's gonna be far more beautiful than it already is right now. If you want something a little bit easier on the purse strings, an aurica palm will do the same kind of feature. Your maintenance level is just gonna go up with an aurica palm. And then of course, you guys know I love pygmy date palms for a similar reason, because you get the trunk and then you get the canopy. So the trunk is gonna allow you to put material underneath, and the canopy is gonna give you that long-term coverage for years and years and years, because they max out at 12 foot tall. So those are a couple different palm options that you can use that are really gonna work. But Cabata is up there with one of my favorite palm trees, just because of what it offers now and what it's gonna offer in the future. And then you guys can really see, we just carried over that same vibe. This bed is offset, so I don't have my tree spaced perfectly evenly, because we're coming around this corner, and that is a golden rule. Everybody thinks that you gotta start, directly, exactly along this side. But because of the screen door there, I didn't want you to have a tree right there in your face as you came out. So we offset this bed so it made the most sense to the property. Keep that in mind. Landscaping rules are rules there for a reason, but for the most part, it's about your space. You're customizing this to fit your lifestyle, customizing this to fit exactly what you want to see in your garden. So work with the rules as it works with your space. But before we jump right into that, I do want to mention this little strip of edging and stone that we have right here. If it is in your budget or something you can do before your landscaper gets here, having a nice strip of edging all the way around the pool cage is not only great to protect the pool itself or the pool screen itself from, weed whackers and these mow and blow guys, but it also gives such a nice level of detail to the whole landscaping. I especially love it along the side here. It makes it for easy maintenance maintenance, being able to walk along this side path here, trimming from the front and then going to the back and trimming there. I know it's an added expense, and rock and edging, as we know, is expensive. So if it's in your budget, do that. If not, make sure to leave yourself just a little bit of room so you can access that, even if it's mulch. So right here we have the Indian River Creek rock. I really love the way it looks, especially paired with the Buda edging. This is the sandstone Buda edging. I love, love, love. You guys know I love the clean lines of the Buda edging and what it offers. Being able to stand and walk on it, it is just a tough, durable product. And I know that edging and rock can get a bit pricey, so make sure that you measure twice, order once. That is definitely the case with any of your edging products and your stone products, because those are going to be the pricier in your landscape budgets. What I like to use, and you guys have seen this in my past videos, is I love the motion activated Moasure device. That is my secret sauce right there. It gives you exactly what you need. So especially when I'm dealing with tight beds like this, I need to know how much rock I'm going to need, how much edging I'm going to need, and how much mulch and how much room I have for those plant species that we're working with. It gives me all of that with just one stroll. You walk along the measuring path there, and every few seconds you set that motion activated device down, it collects a dot, and then it's almost like dot, 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 dot all the way along those beds, and then gives you the fancy, fancy total at the very end of it. So you have everything that you need for each one of those products. And I am not guessing when it comes to landscaping products. I'm not guessing with the customer's money. It makes sure that I order exactly what I need rather than having to, stick some things in the garage. It's the last thing that any of us want. So those of you DIYers out there and you've got a big project, that might be something that you want to look into. If not, grab a wheel. A wheel is another great option to do. It's not as precise as the Moasure, but I can understand that if you don't have a lot of area that you're doing this with, that might work just as easy for you. And for you landscapers out there, I don't know what you're doing. That is my go-to device. That is the first thing that I have in the back of my truck. That is something that I always keep with me, because you guys, that will save you tons of time, tons of money, and make sure that your estimates are right in line. But now we're gonna get back into the softer part of the planting. Now this island, we were able to open it up because this is where the yard expands a little bit more. So we worked with it. And what do you see? Well, right now you see palms, but before, I'll get Bryce to pop in a before picture, what you saw was just an array of houses. This is the tight spot where all the houses kind of come to that corner before you hit the water line area. So I thought this would be a great place to pack in some palm trees. And when I'm looking for coverage and I'm looking for low maintenance, I love using the pygmy palms to offer that. So we have a wall of them around this corner here. We've got 3 pygmy palms. You guys know they're going to get some stalks on them and then grow all the way to 10 to 12 foot tall. At that 10 to 12 foot tall height, guess what they're going to cover? They're going to cover all of those screen rooms back there. It's going to be a wall or a hedge of green fronds and really, really create a perfect soft backdrop that moves with the garden, that moves with this little breezy area. Right in the dead center, we've got a Christmas palm. Now this Christmas palm will mature out to 16 to 18 foot tall, so it'll always be above these pygmy palms. And then down below, we put in just a tad bit of full sun color. We've got some Helen Johnson bougainvillea right here, not in bloom, unfortunately, but you guys know they bloom a beautiful flower. We've got some foxtail ferns, some variegated ginger tucked in this little shadier spot here. And then over here in the full sun, bad sun mamma jammas over there, we've got some yellow alamanda and an orange bird of paradise kind of flanking this bed. And I just love the way this bed pops out and really opens up. I think it fits the space really well, and it also does dual duty by camouflaging the backyard. From this seating section, this is what you see right here. Right from that main seating area, you really get a good viewpoint of how this whole bed is going to come together. Now, as we lead through the rest of the yard, we just spotted in some queen palms. We didn't want anything too heavy here. Obviously, the water view was what my clients wanted to see. They're big into the birds and really enjoying this back space, so you can really kind of get to see all of that here. We ended it with a small little bed that kind of replicated the bed over there. We have some yellow alamandas, some dwarf bougainvilleas here, and then we brought in one Hong Kong orchid right there. Now, if you guys know Hong Kong orchids, you know they get massive. So this guy is going to get all the way over to this little gem magnolia and to this queen palm and just become a big blast of purple blooms, which is going to help block out what you see over there, all of those screen rooms and all of those houses, but give you a good 6 to 8 foot of trunk before it starts to do that. So it does not block out the water line. All right, I hope today's video gave you guys some inspiration. If you're looking for some more tropical inspiration, landscaping in a small space, check out my son's video on the Pure Tropics channel. It turned out so lovely with some great ideas of how to make a small space look larger. Thank you, True Gardeners, for watching, and take care.